Okay, this video is a little bit of a follow-on video to the Anker Nano Powerbank video that I did, and I'll link up to that in the corner if you haven't seen it already. But I've already had a few people asking me, you know, how much extra power is that going to give the camera if you sort of hook that in over USB PD? And I actually made sure last time I was out recording to log how long that lasted and how long the battery in the camera actually lasted as well after. So just to run you through it, I'll give you an idea of the modes I was using and the kind of, you know, what I was running, so you actually can get a good idea of, you know, what it's going to give you. So I'm using the Panasonic Lumix GH6 as the camera. The battery I was using was the official Lumix Panasonic BLK22. You know, your runtime might vary a little bit if you're kind of using third-party batteries. So I think using USB PD, usually I'm going to be using the official batteries with it, because I think it gives you just a little bit more push out of the batteries. So I was kind of I was shooting static on a tripod, and I was just shooting 5.7K at 25 frames a second, and that is just a basic setting, you know, I'll use for some events and things, because it gives me enough scope to kind of crop in for certain shots. So over that time the power bank kept going for 2 hours and 40 minutes, and that was right down to from sort of 100 to kind of fully depleted, and then by that point it switched into the internal camera battery, which was the official BLK22. And then the official battery inside the camera managed to last for another hour and 40 minutes. So in total, I got just under 4.5 hours out of it. It was around 4 hours 18 in total out of that kind of setup. And depending on your kind of camera settings, and as I say, the battery you use, your kind of runtime might vary slightly on that. But for quite a small, neat setup, I actually found that was quite good, really. It doesn't last as long as my other power bank, obviously, because it's a smaller one, but you know, it's pretty good considering what's there. And you have to remember as well that these power banks are actually hot swappable, so you can pull it out the camera will keep recording. If you've got another power bank handy, you can actually plug that in and get even more runtime out of it. One thing probably worth bearing in mind as well is actually the you'll need either a really decent sized card to record for that long, because you won't be able to run out over SSD. You know, you've got the USB-C port is tied up on the camera, because you've got the power bank taking up the only USB-C port, at least on this model of the camera anyway. So you're essentially going to have to either have a really high capacity CF Express Type B card, and that is what I was using. I was using the NVMe one. If you haven't seen it, in another video I built like a DIY NVMe CF Express Type B card, and I've been using that quite a lot recently actually for kind of various things. But otherwise you can use you'd be able to use SD cards that are a decent capacity, and you can even most of the Lumix cameras that are dual card slot, they all come with things like relay recording. I'll link up into the corner about you know, dual card slot recording features on the camera. But you know, essentially with a power bank and the camera, you can pretty much keep going for as long as you want, really, or as long as you can keep going. So yeah, that was it really. So total runtime, like I say, about 4 hours 20 out of this setup. So yeah, hopefully that's helped. If it has, give the video a like. If you've got any questions or anything, drop them in the comments, and please subscribe.